Okay, today we're looking at lesson 86 where we're dealing with volume of pyramids and cones. So we're going to introduce the formulas for each one of these and then we're going to go through an example of each one. So let's start with the volume of a cone. Volume of a cone, we're going to start by taking 1/3 times big B times the height. Now this formula should look very familiar to the volume of a cylinder that we had done earlier. But notice the only difference here is this 1/3 that we've included, and that's because a cone happens to be 1/3 of the volume of a cylinder, and we'll talk about more of that in the lesson when you come back. But big B, once again, that is going to be the area of the base. So we need to establish what the base is, we need to find the area of that base, and then we'll take it times the height and then multiply it by 1/3. So let's go ahead and take a look at example number 1. So here it is, we have a cone off to the right. It is radius of 3 and a height of 5, and we want to go ahead and compute the volume of the cone in terms of pi. So let's start with our formula. Volume is equal to 1/3 times big B times height. And again, what we need to find to begin with is that big B. Now let's identify the shape of our base. Okay, since it's a cone, obviously it's going to be a circle. So what we want to find is the area of our circle, which is pi times radius squared. Let's go ahead and leave our answer in terms of pi because it tells us to do so. The radius that we have here is indeed 3, so 3 squared will get us 9 pi. If we go back to our formula, 1/3 is a constant, we're not going to change that. We can now plug in 9 pi since that's the area of our base, and our height is going to be 5. Now if you want to, you can reduce the 3 and the 9. 3 goes into 3 once, 3 goes into 9 3 times, so we get 3 pi times 15. 3 times 5 to get us 15 pi. Units cubed. So 15 pi units cubed. So that's going to be our formula for a cone. The good news is the volume of a pyramid is going to be the exact same formula. It again is going to be 1/3 times big B times height. The only difference between a cone and a pyramid is the fact that our bases have a different shape to them. Notice if we look at this pyramid, we're looking at a square base. So, square is our base. We know how to find the area of the square. If we look at the top view of it, the length is 90. The width is also 90. And if we multiply, we come up with 8,100 feet squared. We once again go back to our formula. 1/3 times the area of the base, which is the 8,100, times the height, which is 50. And at this point, you can go ahead and you should be able to divide 8,100 by 3. We know that's true because of our divisibility rule. And then you can multiply by 50. But lo and behold, if you do the math, you will find it to be 135,000, and in this case, feet cubed. So the formula for today's lesson is not really much different, nor is it very difficult. It's just, again, being able to establish what's our base and what's the area of our base. If we go back and look at our cone, obviously our base is a circle, and if we look at the base of a pyramid, it's a square base. Lastly, practice set problems C and D.